Am I the asshole for not feeding and watering enough? I, 25M, live in a rental house with my roommate, 38F, and my dog Loco. Loco naturally stays with me in my room, and is a very loved and loving dog, I would assume. I brought him up from Texas to Colorado at the end of 2024 and had been feeding him about a mason jar of food every day, with double that on the weekends. About mid-February, I had kept getting comments about how big he is for his weight, and sure enough, his first visit to the vet here, the tech said he was about 5 pounds over his breed's max weight, Staffordshire Terrier 35 pounds. So the vet suggested to feed him half a jar a day instead, and take him out for about 1-2 hours a day. I did this for a few months, and he lost about 10 pounds and was a lot more fit and seemed a bit more active. Fast forward to September, my current roommate moves in, and she loves my dog. She has no issues with how I play, feed, or take care of him. All is good, and there is no bad blood between us. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I asked her if she could watch him for about 4 or 5 days, because I was flying out to see my family back in Texas. She agrees, and I tell her everything he needs and what my routine is with him. I leave, come back, and everything is still fine between us. When I did come back, I noticed his food was low and got some more for him, but forgot to take it out of the car. It was already late, so I decided to feed the last of his food that day and get the one in the car out the next day when I feed him again. I did just that and went to bed. I then wake up to a text from my roommate saying, "Why are you not feeding and watering your dog? Give him to a shelter if you don't want to provide basic survival needs for an animal. It is excruciating to watch him starve." To which I explained the situation, since I thought maybe she tried to feed him while I was at work. She replied she wasn't angry or trying to hurt me, but just to express what she saw and that it wouldn't happen again. This ended up confusing me, since I thought of other ways she could have expressed this in a more professional manner. Am I the asshole? A lot going on here. Who calculates feeding their dog in mason jars, and what vets don't score on body condition, including pinch and roll tests, but the max weight of a breed? You are the asshole for making me read this nonsensical post. WTF, why on earth are you feeding your dog double the amount of food on weekends than weekdays? I also don't get why your vet would tell you to have his food. Usually they tell you to decrease a little slash and switch to a lower calorie food that helps them feel full on less calories. I've cared for dogs for years, and nothing you described sounds like underfeeding. Vets literally recommended the change. Your roommate overreacted. A simple "hey, is everything okay with his food?" would have been enough. Water should be available and clean at all times. Wash the bowl every other day too, and only feed the recommended amount. Some dogs do enjoy their daily allotment split between a breakfast and dinner. Our dogs definitely do, especially since they play hard in the afternoons, nap, and then enjoy dinner. But morning they also are peckish for food. Consider switching to a breakfast/dinner setup, but as long as the dog is getting the recommended food amount, is healthy, and has fresh, clean water available at all times, not the asshole. Info: why were you feeding your dog more on weekends? Opie, if your dog lost double the weight the vet recommended, you might want to go back just to make sure it's truly not too much. Am I the asshole for not selling my sister something that I already sold online? A while back I bought a sort of rare gaming console online after finding it for a good price and using a coupon. It's something I've wanted for years, so I finally hopped on it. I ended up finding it in a new condition elsewhere for around the same price. So I ended up with 2 of them. My sister knew I had both and planned on selling one and keeping the other to get some money back. Occasionally, when she was reminded of me having it, she would casually say, "I might want it," or "I like it. It looks good, you could sell me it instead," and I would tell her, "If you're willing to buy it from me, it can be yours." But it never went further than that. I did linger on this for months, but I finally decided to post a listing online a few days ago. I even told her that I did this that day, and that I expected it to sell quickly due to its rarity. Still, she didn't show much emotion about this, except a casual joke for me to take it down and give it to her instead. She jokes a lot with me though. She didn't try to tell me anything about wanting it and wanting to pay for it. 2 days go by, and I check the listing and see it's getting more and more likes, and again I tell her this. Still not much response. Finally last night I tell her I got an offer. I also say I am firm on its price as I'm trying to get back what I paid for it, and that I was going to tell the guy that. Then we talk more about the game, and I show her it. She looks at it and turns it on. Finds my listing online and likes it, and begins talking to me about maybe buying it in real life and not the listing to avoid fees. As we are talking, the guy from earlier buys it for what I asked for. Suddenly she feels remorse, saying that all this time she wanted it from me, but wasn't sure if I was going to really sell it or not. When I told her that I mentioned my listing online all week, she said that she didn't think it would really sell so quickly, and thought she could still have a shot if she got her money together. Now she wants me to cancel the sale with the guy because it is something she would do for me. I told her that it's not fair to the buyer, and that I should honor the sale, and that she honestly showed so much interest too late. But now she feels like I'm doing her dirty, and that I should have known that she had some interest in it from the beginning. I'm very conflicted and a bit confused, as I want to honor the sale, as bad as the timing might have been, but I don't want her to be mad at me for shipping it out today. Edit. I will also mention, that night when we were talking she was saying she could give me part of the money this week and part of it in 2 weeks. So she was making a plan to possibly buy before the guy scooped it up. Edit 2. I just sent it out, but part of me still feels really bad. Why? I know she won't be happy with me, and she was already telling me how she needs to stop being so nice to everyone because she keeps being done wrong, etc. I want to honor the sale, but I'd hate for this to strain our relationship too. I know it shouldn't be a big deal, but I'm a bit sensitive to how people feel so. She wanted you to give it to her for free. Not the asshole your sister will never buy it from you. She's hoping you'll just give in and give it to her for free. It would also be pretty crap to not sell it to the guy who accepted your price. Your sister has had months to make you an offer and or give you the money. Not the asshole. She made you wait for months and was never clear on whether she actually wanted to buy it. Was she just waiting for you to lower the price or give it for free? She had her chance and didn't take it. Online buyer bought it fair and square for the price you wanted. Maybe your sister will learn from this. Not the asshole, she wanted you to give it to her for free. All of those jokes were not jokes. She said it in a joking way in case you rejected her, but that was her soft launching the idea of you giving it to her. I bet if you took her up on her giving you half now she would never pay the second half, 'cause she would already have it, and find some excuse of you don't really need the money. Not the asshole. She was fishing for a freebie if she could get it. She had first dibs and missed out. Better luck next time. TBH, I feel like if you cancel the sale for her she isn't going to buy it, or want it for a discount/free. So not the asshole. Am I the asshole for being rude towards my MIL, or is my husband the real AH? Am I the asshole for being rude towards my mother-in-law, or is my husband the real AH? My mother-in-law insists on visiting my daughter every Saturday and Sunday, usually between the hours of 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. The problem with her chosen time slot is that this is the middle of the night for me. I'm a nurse and currently the breadwinner of our family. I work 12-hour overnight shifts beginning at 7 p.m., ending at 7:30 a.m. every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In contrast, my mother-in-law does not have a single obligation in her life. Arguably, she has not had a single obligation in the last 30 years. She chooses to come at the most inconvenient time for me. I've never been a morning person, and am certainly not in the mood for any form of small talk immediately upon rising. Any dialogue between her and I is always initiated by her and met with short monotone responses. A typical conversation between her and I will go something like this. MIL, are you working tonight? Me, yes. MIL, are they going to call you off? Me, no, or I won't know until 5 p.m. MIL, I hope you have a good night. Or I hope you get called off. Me, thank you. This is the same conversation I have with her every weekend. She should know the answers to those questions, but she's old, possibly senile. I get it. It's my husband that really pisses me off. Anytime I attempt to explain how his mother's desired visit time negatively impacts me, I'm told. 1. Stop whining. 2. Everyone is tired of hearing you bitch. 3. No one cares. 4. Other people work fucked up schedules too. 5. Stop putting yourself on a pedestal. 6. She's old. Deal with it. 6. You're an asshole towards my mom. So who is the asshole here, me, my husband, or my mother-in-law? And before someone suggests that my daughter should visit her grandmother at her grandmother's house, that is impossible. My mother-in-law is a hoarder. Her house is disgusting. I do not want my daughter there. It's hard to believe you might actually be questioning if it's your husband that's an asshole when you quote him as saying, 1. Stop whining. 2. Everyone is tired of hearing you bitch. 3. No one cares. 4. Other people work fucked up schedules too. 5. Stop putting yourself on a pedestal. No one should talk to you like that, especially not the man you've chosen to share your life with. I'm sorry your MIL doesn't respect your schedule, but given that you've already expressed it to her and she's possibly senile, it's on your husband to set this boundary and not treat you like shit over it. Not the asshole, of course. Edited to correct my acronym. Not the asshole, but why do you have to get up? Isn't your husband there watching your daughter? I don't understand why you're interacting with MIL at all when you should be sleeping. You have a husband problem. He's being obtuse at your expense and not supporting you. MIL is next in line. You're not the asshole. Not the asshole. Yes, your husband is. But also, why are you getting out of bed for these visits? Crank the white noise and ignore it. You're the breadwinner? Tell your asshole husband to get a job. Start waking him up and having people over when he's sleeping. Fuck that. He can entertain his mom and make sure she's quiet, or he can move TF out and have her over to his house on his custody time. Not the asshole, but I would schedule a meeting with a divorce attorney ASAP. Am I the asshole for not wanting to host my husband's family last minute? We were supposed to spend the weekend in a couple cabins, but ended up canceling due to bad weather. My husband then invited everyone to our house instead without asking with me first, with less than 24 hours notice. We have all been sick for a week, so the house is a mess. Also he works, so won't be able to help clean and get ready. Also my kid has surgery next week that I'm trying to mentally stay ready for to be there for her best I can because it's a lot and I'm nervous about it. We booked camping months before we knew she would need a double eye surgery the following week after camping. I also sleep on my daughter's floor when we have company because I want to keep her safe and had a traumatic childhood, so basically cannot sleep unless I'm next to her keeping her safe with overnight guests over. So I was annoyed I wasn't going to be getting good rest before her big week and being sick myself on top of it. After fighting for 24 hours, he begrudgingly canceled on them last minute, which does make me look bad and like I'm the asshole. This is where you say, yes darling, rent a hotel room for yourself and your daughter, and leave your husband to it. No need to fight for a day. Not the asshole. He should have asked you before he even invited them. Not the asshole, he should have asked you first. He assumed you would do all the work, had no regard for your child's upcoming surgery or your responsibilities. Plus it sounds like he threw you under the bus when he canceled, or no one would be aware that it wasn't a mutual decision. Not the asshole, but I'd recommend you get some therapy for different coping skills before you pass trauma onto your daughter. How long are you planning on sleeping in her room to protect her? It sounds like you shouldn't be having guests at this point, period, and that is something you need to address with your spouse. He should have just told them he forgot about the surgery. Not the asshole. He should never have committed without asking you first. So he's the asshole for that alone. But he should have known better himself, because he knows the surgery schedule, right? He knows about her trauma, right? He's aware that he hasn't pitched in to clean up the house for his guests, right? If he put the blame on you instead of himself, or at least blaming the surgery, then he's a triple AH.